Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of writing systems of equations. This is standard A.2I in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 3 of the 2022 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we've got two equations that we need to find here that represent these two lines. And you notice they intersect right at a point. That means that this point, we can actually, when we find these, if we wanted to, we can plug this point in and it would make a true statement for both of these equations. That's what we get when we get a system of equations. We find that intersection. And it looks like that intersection is going to be x of -5 and y of -5. Right? So if we really wanted to, we could just plug in -5 and -5 into each of these answer selections, and we could find the one that makes it correct. But let's not do that. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. So let's make this line 1 right here. We're going to make this line 2. I need 2 points. That's all I need. Then I can find the slope. I can find the full equation. Line 1, when in doubt, look for an intercept right there. So it looks like I've got an intercept right there at 0, -3, which is very helpful because that is not just any intercept. That is a y-intercept. So let's check our equation for slope. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's the rise over run. All right, so I'm going to make this intersection x1 and y1. So I'll make this x2 and y2. All right, so for line 1 here, let's see, I've got -3. That's my y2 minus my y1 of -5. So I'll end up being positive because it's 2 negatives there. And then 0 minus another -5. All right, so these two are going to make a positive, so the denominator is going to be +5. Those two make a positive. It's -3 plus 5, or 5 minus 3, so that's going to be 2. All right, so +2/5 makes sense, right? We're going up 2 over 5. Now, normally I would need to find the point slope form in order to find the y-intercept, but if we just look at our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Remember, b is simply the y-intercept. What happens when x is 0? Well, that was one of the points I used. X of 0, y of -3. I've got my y-intercept. So I can write y equals, here's my slope, 2/5 x. And then what was my y-intercept? It was -3. So instead of plus b, I'll just do -3. All right, so I've got 2/5 x minus 3. So right now, b looks like the only option. Let's see. This is all line 1. Let's see what happens when I do line 2. So I'm going to use the -5, -5. No need to change that. I'm looking for another point, and if I could find an intercept, yep, right there, let's go. I see another intercept, x of 0, y this time of -8. So that's going to be my x2 and my y2. So I'm going to go back into my slope form right here. So my y2 is -8. My y1 is still going to be that original intersection right there, right? -5. And then I've got my x2 of 0, and then my x1 of -5. Once again, I've got a denominator of 5. Those become positive, so it's -8 plus 5, so it's going to be a -3. So I've got a -3/5, right? So I can write y equals -3/5 x, and then plus b, but I know my y-intercept is right there, so -8. So this is my second equation, and that checks out. My answer here is B.